The Batman Who Laughs, who hails from the dark multiverse, is an accurate depiction of what happens when Batman goes off the rails. This Batman does not stop at ruining his own planet and wants to destroy the Prime Multiverse by infecting everyone with the same toxin that turned him crazy. To do this, he needs to infect 6 heroes with unique energy signatures and abilities: Shazam, the Blue Beetle, Donna Troy, Sky Tyrant, Commissioner Gordon, and the Kryptonian Superman. His team, the Secret Six, will be tasked with opening a portal to the dark multiverse and helping their boss turn everyone as crazy as them. But Superman and Batman are of course willing to do anything to stop it. In today's video, we will go over how the Secret Six get infected and assemble, while also talking about the strings Batman and Superman pull to prevent the imminent doom, all while being oblivious to the fact that it is them whose strings are being pulled all along. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The Secret Six. Let's go over a few things before we get into the heart of today's video, starting with the Batman Who Laughs. This is a version of Batman from the Dark Multiverse's Earth -22. This multiverse is a realm right below the one that we know of, and it is the product of the fears, nightmares, and all the wrong decisions made by the people from the Prime Multiverse. The Batman from Earth -22 has the same origin story as the original Batman. However, in this world, his arch-nemesis, the Joker, realizes that he is dying from the Joker toxin. To go out with a bang, he begins to mass slaughter the people of Gotham City and more, while paralyzing Batman and forcing him to witness the atrocity. Later, when the paralyzer wears off, Batman attacks the Joker and finally kills him. But as the Joker dies, the necrosis results in a burst of the toxin in his heart, affecting the one in his closest proximity, in this case, Batman. The toxin gradually begins to corrupt Batman's mind, making him more like the Joker in terms of morality while retaining Bruce Wayne's genius. Ultimately, he kills the Justice League in his world as he turns into the Batman Who Laughs. He then learns about Perpetua, the creator of the multiverse from the Bat God Barbados, and by extension, gets to know about the Dark Multiverse and its positive counterpart. With the desire to eventually become the strongest being in the universe, with everything under him, he tries to invade the Prime Multiverse and wishes to turn everyone into their Jokerized versions. He wants to bring his dark multiverse into its prime counterpart, and starts by picking a few superheroes he intends to infect with the Joker toxin. With a metal batarang laced with the toxin, he infects Shazam, Donna Troy, Superman, Blue Beetle, James Gordon, and Hawkman, and gets them on his side. He also tasks Shazam with infecting Superman. The comic Year of the Villain, The Infected, walks us through the separate storylines of the heroes turned villains, showing us their shift from being good to becoming more and more like the Batman Who Laughs. The Infected King Shazam. The first segment shows us how Shazam becomes King Shazam. Originally, he is a young hero named Billy Batson who can turn into a powerful wizard by chanting his name, Shazam. Billy is fostered by Rosa and Victor Vasquez, alongside the other foster kids who have the ability to turn into the wizard as well. Billy has a good reputation in the family and is trustworthy until everything changes. One day, while having dinner, he lashes out at his foster parents as he rambles about them fostering kids because they could not have their own. He goes to his room and ruins their family picture, claiming he has had enough of them. This is very uncharacteristic of him, proving that he is not having a regular teenage tantrum. When his sister Mary tries to talk to him, Billy behaves rudely with her before leaving the house and turning into Shazam, all while believing that no one is worthy enough to be related to him. In reality, he had met the Batman Who Laughs, who had used his toxin-laced batarang to infect Billy, turning him into a Jokerized version of himself. The Batman Who Laughs claimed that he had not altered him, but instead had simply freed him of his shackles, allowing him to be his true self. Billy was also tasked with using another special batarang to infect Superman. In the present, after leaving his house, he catches up to Atlas, the Titan. He tests his enhanced powers and new limits on the Titan, who had never anticipated how badly he would be overpowered by the so-called superhero. But Shazam dominates the fight, causing a lot of damage to the infrastructure and the people in the process, making it even more uncharacteristic of something Billy Batson would do. Back in town, the other Shazams are busy cleaning up behind the damage, oblivious to who is behind the massacre. Mary is the first one to figure out Billy's involvement in it all because she had seen the shift in his personality. While she decides to hunt him down, Billy is fighting Thor for no reason, trying to assert his dominance over the god. He then hunts down Rao and defeats him with ease, all while thinking about how the Batman Who Laughs had opened his eyes, prompting him to not have to play second fiddle to Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the other veteran superheroes. He then sets out to outdo the next god, while Mary finds Atlas in a sorry state and heads out to find Billy, landing herself on Mount Olympus. Billy beats the living crap out of the god of war Ares, who seems to have gone soft, when Mary intervenes, throwing Billy away with a strong punch. The two foster siblings fight one another, and Mary proves herself to be more of a fighter than all the gods Billy had recently bashed. Mary dominates the fight, and tells Billy that she knows how he has been corrupted by something. Soon after, Billy's vulnerable side comes out and pleads with his sister for help. Mary gets close to him to help him out, only for Billy to have played innocent as a ruse to attack her once again. This time, he infects her with the Batman Who Laughs' batarang, claiming that very soon she will become just like him. The infected Scarab. The Blue Beetle, or Jaime Reyes, is a young hero. He is also known as the Scarab since he is fused with a Reach Scarab. However, a lot of its power seems to remain dormant, making Jaime a suitable hero for the Batman Who Laughs to exploit. The Blue Beetle finds himself in a fight where he is losing. He knows the danger of the amount of power the world-eating Scarab attached to his spine wields. He also knows that he needs to keep his power in check, but he also wants to go home and knows that there is no better way to win the fight than by unlocking his beastly potential. What he is fighting is a monster, which soon reveals itself to be the Batman Who Laughs. Jaime believes that he is not monster enough to stop him when this Batman stabs his neck with his toxin-laced batarang. All of a sudden, Jaime wakes up in his room, thankful that it was all a nightmare. Soon, a voice echoes inside him, telling him that the vision was a lot more real than a dream, and truly, it was, as it begins to show its effects quite soon. Jaime leaves his house to go to school, when he seems to be appalled by the idea of the Blue Beetle having to take the bus. He transforms in front of everyone and reaches school before the others. When his friends Brenda and Paco arrive, they lash out at him for his reckless behavior, only for Jaime to respond with more recklessness while acting totally out of character. Jaime skips school and goes to Ted Kord's house, while his friends follow him. They break into the house, and Paco tries to steal the food when the floor opens and Paco almost dies due to the fall. Thankfully, Paco latches onto the floor and saves himself, and Brenda once again points out Jaime's behavior, but he is shameless about it. While his friends enter the vehicle, he takes the Blue Beetle's bug and flies out, only to find Ghostfire. Jaime fights Ghostfire when Brenda and Paco realize that Jaime is not fighting to defeat, but in fact to kill. The Batman Who Laughs adds fuel to Jaime's fire, applauding him for his newfound violence, while Jaime tells Ghostfire that he has had enough of showing mercy. He can listen to him because the toxin seems to physically connect the infected with the Jokerized Batman. No matter how much firepower Ghostfire keeps using, the Blue Beetle remains unscathed. However, Jaime's true self fights back while the Blue Beetle gets closer to Ghostfire and begins to devour him. Brenda and Paco are in utter shock as they witness the disaster. Blue Beetle begins to puke while his inner self is distraught over his actions. The Batman Who Laughs does more harm than good, as usual, with him standing by the violent display of Blue Beetle's abilities. Jaime tries to hide in the shadows and asks his friends to stay away, who realize that something is wrong and tries to reach out to Jaime, but he pukes again and asks the voice inside his head to shut up. However, he soon changes his form as he goes through a painful metamorphosis. The Ghostfire proves to be alive when it blasts at the trio with its fire. This new attack takes away whatever was left of Jaime Reyes, who is fighting the toxin. The reins go to the new Blue Beetle, who, evil and uninhibited, is ready to unleash his true strength on the enemy after eliminating his moral compass. The infected Donna Troy, Deathbringer. In Amazonian, originally created to destroy Wonder Woman, Donna Troy seems to be aware of being someone who exists as a weapon and a tool. But despite being created from and for violence, she sides with peace and acts as a founding member of the Titans. In a fight sequence, Remy's dissenters are seen fighting against the neighborhood watch that Borna had set up to ensure structure and discipline between the members. The dissenters want the watch to be dissolved. However, one common factor between both sides sides is the fact that they all wish for Serenity Point to be a place where metahumans can exist with their abilities freely. As Donna tries to negotiate the tension between the two sides of Serenity Point, metahumans, she begins to doubt herself. After all, she has not inherited Diana's caliber for diplomacy and peacekeeping. She is unable to step up to Nightwing's community-building abilities for the team. She knows that she has to prevent an all-out battle between the two sides. She knows that she has to build a bridge between them, but she was not created to build, she was created to destroy. She tries to promote peacekeeping, that is until Borna gets gravely injured. Donna's inherent violent tendencies get triggered by the grief, and she finds herself conflicted between starting the fight and playing diplomatic, when suddenly, a menacing voice echoes in her head. Donna follows that voice as it talks about wanting to peel the layers to reveal her true self. As she gets closer to him, something flies by and cuts her waist. Needless to say, it is the toxin-laced metal batarang wielded by the Batman who laughs. In the present, during the fight between both sides from which Donna seems to be missing after having left the Titans, Raven and Miss Martian sense that something malevolent is happening to her. Raven leaves the battlefield and heads out to find Donna. Reaching her place, she is knocked out by someone. Miss Martian too reaches the site and sees her, restrained to a chair. She knows that the enemy here is way stronger than any of the metahumans from Serenity Point, when someone lights a fire, which is any Martian's Achilles heel. Miss Martian is taken down, but she manages to notice the culprit, a menacing Donna Troy. She goes on a rampage, taking down all the members of the Teen Titans. As Beast Boy tries to find out what is going on, he sees a weakened Raven. She tells him that it is Donna right when the Amazonian appears in front of the Beast. The Amazonian tells him that Donna is dead and that she is the Deathbringer. Donna finally feels free from the burden of meditating, free from the burden of the shackles that held her back, free from the burden of not acting as a weapon. She is finally the woman she was always meant to be, and this was unlocked thanks to the Batman who laughs. The Titans are not ones to go down without a fight though, so they attack Donna at once, who chides them for making themselves smaller. Ultimately, they prove to be no match for her, but Raven manages to persuade her to avoid harming them. She tells her that she can still sense the real Donna inside her, while the Deathbringer leaves the scene. The Infected Commissioner. We all know Jim Gordon very well. The famous commissioner of the Gotham City Police Department and ally to Batman, Gordon has always done what is best for Gotham, or so he believes, as he helps Batman time and time again, even though Batman has a knack for disappearing on him. Eventually, Gordon gives up on being a police officer and starts working as a private investigator. However, Gotham City never returns Gordon's favors. The commissioner often finds himself in the line of fire and goes through hell because of the criminals he tries to take down. His daughter, Barbara, is paralyzed from the waist down. His wife loses her life, and his son, James Jr., is estranged from him. He is kept as a human pet following Barbara's paralysis, chained to the Joker's leash in a sex dungeon and forced to look at explicit pictures of his daughter by the Clown Prince of Crime. Needless to say, he has had way too many reasons to want to turn against the city, but he is a man of integrity who still tries to make the world a better place. Reports about the death of Bruce Wayne take over the news. However, Bruce is not dead, and it all seems to be a farce, so Gordon works with Batman and learns about the dark multiverse. By extension, he learns about the Batman who laughs, the man responsible for everything. He tries to track him down when he comes across another Batman from the dark multiverse, the Grim Knight. This is a Batman who started using guns after his parents were shot down by Joe Chill. At present, he allies himself with the Batman who laughs, and having the knowledge that his boss needs the man, the Grim Knight knocks out Gordon. He is taken to a lair underneath Gotham City, where he learns of the evil Batman's plan with him. Naturally, he adamantly turns down the offer to be part of the Secret Six, but he does not have much of a choice. Gordon is seemingly freed and then chased by the Grim Knight, several hounds, and many Dark Robins, who are Jokerized versions of Gordon's son James Jr. from several negative universes. Gordon flees successfully and meets with Batman, working alongside his original son James Jr., who is in on the case. Gordon protects Batman and the Batcave from the Grim Knight, who is still on their tail. The father and son duo dons batsuits and fights the Grim Knight, briefly dominating the fight. That is until the Grim Knight pours a vial of toxin into the nearby water and begins to drown James in it. Gordon rushes to his son's aid as he stabs the Grim Knight in the back and the shoulder, but in the process gets subjected to a small dose of the said toxin. Naturally, the effects kick in. Eventually, a year passes by, and the Batman who laughs is seen to be a prisoner at the Hall of Justice. Meanwhile, no one is aware of Gordon having switched sides, proving that he has maintained an act in front of the heroes and the people. The Jokerized Gordon witnesses the battle between Superman and Batman versus Shazam as he meets Detective Conley on the rooftop. Gordon talks about how he finally understands that Gotham City never needed to be saved. Instead, it needs to be purged. Conley understands that something is wrong when Gordon hands him a button that will open all the doors in Arkham, leaving all the psychopaths to fend for themselves in case a nuclear war strikes. He asks Conley to press the button, which the latter does not want to, but he does not need to. Gordon had actually already done it 2 hours ago. News about the explosions across the city reaches the heroes with Batgirl, or Gordon's daughter, Barbara Gordon, in hot pursuit. As she reaches the site of the explosion, another explosion caused by the Arkham inmates almost takes her down. Meanwhile, the Commissioner keeps the Batman Who Laughs updated about the events. Batgirl fights the villains from the asylum when she is stopped by the Commissioner and Conley, who say that this is an operation for the Gotham City Police and something that is not her concern. Gordon, who does not know that Batgirl is his daughter, keeps up the ruse of playing the role of a good cop as he talks about another explosion having taken place where Batgirl needs to go. Batgirl is sent off as the Commissioner talks to himself about the state of affairs in Gotham City. He says, "Nothing matters. Not anymore. Nothing but the end of Gotham. It's finally time. Everyone's a cop in this town. Everyone's a killer. Everyone's a savior or a psycho, and nobody knows which is which, or whether up is down. Least of all you. You don't know what you are, but you're not sick anymore. Gotham is, and that's why it must die." The infected Hawkman, Sky Tyrant. The Sky Tyrant is from Earth 3, a world where what we know as good is evil, and what is evil is good. He is one of the reincarnations of Qatar's Deathbringers. Amidst a battle that took place several years ago, the Sky Tyrant was finally defeated by the Justice Society All-Stars. He had been killing as many as he could to prolong the reincarnation cycle, but it was time for him to die, and so he did. In the present, a reincarnated Sky Tyrant looks over Midway City and realizes that no one is looking up at the sky in terror. On this Earth, his counterpart is the superhero Hawkman, not the Sky Tyrant. Realizing that he has some catching up to do, he heads out to terrorize as many as he can when one of his previous reincarnations tries to stop him. The reincarnation is in his head, and the fight between the two is not actually happening in reality, but to the Sky Tyrant, it feels like it is. His reincarnation talks about having new impulses to kill even though he is not the malicious type. Unlike Sky Tyrant himself, the Tyrant shuts him out and lifts his mace to harm the people in the city when someone else knocks him down. As he looks at the attacker, he sees Hawkgirl. The infected Supergirl. Supergirl, or Kara Zor-El, is Superman's cousin. She finds herself on Earth after remaining in stasis in outer space for a long time. She later goes on to join the Justice League after meeting Superman. The comic does not give a lot of backstory about how Supergirl lands herself in a fight in the Fortress of Solitude. Superman and Batman are going against Sky Tyrant, the Jokerized Gordon, the Deathbringer, the Jokerized Scarab, and King Shazam. Of course, we will give you more details on it later, but now let's just talk about how Supergirl contracts the toxin. Before heading there, she is having a dialogue with Brainiac 1, who is going through a metamorphosis. She knows that she has to bring down Brainiac 1, who is trying to control her, but heads to the fortress after sensing danger from its signal that can only be heard by Kryptonians. She spots Hawkman and Batman fighting, with Batman losing by a big margin. She does not know that this Hawkman is the Sky Tyrant from Earth 3, and breaks them apart with force, claiming to hate it when her friends fight. She saves Batman and finds her cousin, who is fighting the Blue Beetle and Donna Troy. She does not know what is going on, but spots Jamie throwing a metal batarang at Superman. Oblivious to the nature of the weapon, she catches it with her bare hands. Superman is saved, who the Batman Who Laughs wanted infected, but as Supergirl had clutched the batarang to stop it, she had injured herself, causing her hands to bleed. Normally, Kryptonians feel nothing from a humanoid weapon, but of course the Batman Who Laughs had created it in a way that it could hurt the Kryptonians, quite obviously because he wanted Superman infected. Superman and Batman notice that something is wrong, as an injured Kara begins to cough. Meanwhile, the Brainiac nanobots inside her also notice that something is wrong amidst the download. As she awakens, King Shazam asks her how she feels to finally be experiencing her fully realized powers. When Kara stands up, she is different. She feels super now that she is Jokerized. And then she remembers why she is here. When she coughs out some nanobots, she remembers how the Fox Brainiac had to hurt her, injecting her with those nanobots to control her, and how she wanted to defeat him him. She finds the Brainiac, kills it, and realizes that she does not need to be with the Secret Six. She is strong enough to be on her own, and as such, she heads out to the dark multiverse to have her fun. But how does she even know how to go there? Surely you need a portal to be opened to even have a chance. Well, we answer all of these questions in the next segment of our video, because there is a lot more to the story. Nightmares for Batman and Superman. The 2019 comics Batman Superman, written by Joshua Williamson, gives us the story of the Secret Six, Superman, and Batman, and their journey in the fiasco. Clark Kent is at work when Batman contacts him. He is asked to leave the Daily Planet and reach the Justice League Watchtower immediately. On the way, he thinks about the differences between him and Batman. Batman worries too much unlike him, but their similarity lies in the fact that they know how to inhibit themselves. However, if they ever act like their enemies, together they can be far worse and far more capable. Superman reaches the Watchtower and is appalled to see the dead bodies of the Justice League members. He then begins to puke as he realizes that the air has been poisoned with kryptonite when Batman appears. He is killing Superman because every time the two heroes lock horns, they fight to the death. The Bat wants to avoid the drama, and thus he just plans ahead. However, this is not the Batman we know. This is the Batman who laughs, and this is his world in the dark multiverse. On Earth Zero, from the Prime Multiverse, Batman is on a Gotham City rooftop talking to Commissioner Gordon about the Batman who laughs and his intention of changing all of Gotham. He does not know that Gordon is not on his side anymore and is actually infected. Soon, the Superman from his world arrives when he and Batman are tasked by the Commissioner to find a young boy named Danny Mills. Turns out, Danny was kidnapped by a laughing Superman, making this a case that Superman and Batman have to handle. Gordon gives them false clues about a place with electronic buzzing and a stench, referencing the time he was kidnapped by the Batman who laughs. A worried Batman and Superman find that place to be in Crime Alley, where Batman's parents were killed. They enter the place and fight off some robots to reach the Batcave of the Batman who laughs. Batman finds a mold for making batarangs and realizes that the Batman who laughs has fused his toxin with the nth metal, which is the metal Hawkgirl's mace is made of, to create the metal batarang. Meanwhile, a little Jokerized boy is spotted in the darkness, witnessing everything. He soon attacks Batman and the heroes spot him. They ward him off and realize that this is Danny, who has been changed. But this is not Danny. He says, "Don't you recognize me? My name's Billy Batson." Billy turns into Shazam and grabs Superman by the throat. Now more powerful than ever, he talks about always having wondered whether he could kick Superman's butt. Now he has finally gotten the opportunity to do so. Shazam mocks Batman for being a guy in a Halloween costume who is soon about to fall victim to Superman's heat vision. Suddenly, Superman sees a helpless Billy in front of him, who claims to be acting beyond his control. As Superman softens up, Billy reveals that he is playing the fool and transforms into Shazam again. Meanwhile, Gordon is at Gotham City Police Armory. He cannot access the weapons there because it is being protected by Wayne Technology, but the Batman who laughs is with him, which means that he knows Wayne Technology very well. Back at the site of action, Shazam tries to infect Superman with the Batarang when Batman stops him from doing so as he rides one of the aerial vehicles owned by the Batman who laughs. The fight ends soon after Superman knocks Shazam out and Billy fails to infect the Kryptonian. Batman, who has endured Shazam's magical lightning, is gravely injured. To heal him, Superman keeps him in a stasis chamber at the Fortress of Solitude, which manages to do the job. However, Superman later appears and tells him that Shazam has escaped. They run the scan on the Batarang they had retrieved and come to the conclusion that the Batman who laughs has created 6 different Batarangs to infect 6 different heroes, exploiting their weaknesses. With the knowledge of his plan, Superman and Batman head out to prevent the transformation of heroes into villains. However, they are hiding a secret from the rest of the League. It is the fact that the Batman who laughs has been kept prisoner in the Hall of Justice itself. With a small dose of the toxin, Superman plans to go undercover to learn of the true objective of the Batman who laughs. Batman relies on his Kryptonian body to fight back, and together they head to the Bat prison in the Hall of Justice. Superman uses his heat vision to free the villain and shows himself as his Jokerized version. They want to make the Batman who laughs believe that everything is going according to his plan. Superman breaks him out and tries to get information out of the Jokerized Batman. This Batman tells him that he wants to kill everyone in the Prime Multiverse with help from those he has infected. Soon, Superman attacks the Batman who laughs, breaking his cover when the original Batman pounces at Superman, injecting an antidote into his bloodstream. Superman does not know why Batman would stop him when he had the villain, but to be honest, the Batman who laughs knew everything all along. Batman tells Superman about this and his dark version agrees to it. In fact, he knew that Shazam had failed to infect Superman from the moment they entered. The Batman Who Laughs also realizes that his escape was staged in a hologram and that he is still trapped. Batman takes Superman to a room with a yellow sun lamp. The Reyes help the antidote kick in to fix Superman quickly, and Batman follows the tracks left by the Batman Who Laughs. He deduces that Gordon had been compromised a long time ago and catches up to him. Why else would he give them a false lead about a random laughing Superman and a kidnapped boy? His worst fears are confirmed when he sees Gordon, who blames Batman for having to bury dead cops over and over and says that it is the final straw. When the vehicle crashes, Gordon activates his old suit Rookie to attack Batman. Superman comes to the rescue and fights off the Rookie. He gets rid of all the toxins inside him with his freeze breath, but they try to understand why the Batman Who Laughs wants them to know that Gordon is infected. He had done well by keeping himself hidden so well under their noses all along. So why did he give up the information all of a sudden? They capture Gordon and Rookie and take him to the Fortress of Solitude. In the fortress, Rookie turns out to be a Trojan horse as nanobots from the suit materialize to give rise to the Blue Beetle, who then hacks the computers at the Batcave and incapacitates all the heroes. He had always been treated as a kid, but it was finally his time to shine. It was his time to unleash his true powers. Soon, the Deathbringer and Sky Tyrant join in on the fight, proving that it is already too late for Superman and Batman from preventing the infection. Superman tells them that the Batman Who Laughs wants to destroy this world, but Commissioner Gordon thinks it is a necessary purge, and to do that, the Batman Who Laughs needs a little something from the dark multiverse, which is why the Secret Six needs to be together. He needs a satellite from his universe, created with dark metal, to create a cosmic bat signal. This signal will infect everyone on Earth, but bringing such a huge thing to a different universe requires effort and different energy signatures, and the last missing piece from the puzzle seems to be Superman. Superman fights his so-called allies, while Batman makes the Rookie explode. Using the smokescreen from the explosion to his advantage, he disappears with Superman, and they reach the heart of the Fortress of Solitude, which has not been corrupted by the Scarab's hacking. Superman reveals that if the fortress is in danger of detonation, the heart will react in the most volatile of manners and take the fortress and everyone in it down, quarantining them forever. In fact, that is the reason why it is called the Fortress of Solitude. They soon decide to activate the failsafe, with Superman fighting the Scarab and doing the job. Meanwhile, Batman is tasked with keeping Sky Tyrant and the Deathbringer at bay, who seem to be fighting one another due to Sky Tyrant taking ill about the Amazonians being too afraid of leaving their island. On seeing this, Batman breaks the fight and engages the Sky Tyrant, but he gets overpowered easily. Thankfully, Supergirl chimes in and breaks the fight apart, just like we had previously spoken about. Meanwhile, the Blue Beetle is building the necessary technology to create a portal by using the energy from the dark multiverse. At the same time, the Scarab inside him is fighting against the infection when Superman tries to help him, only for Donna Troy to attack him. Confused as to why her friends are fighting each other, Supergirl tries to save Superman from Jaime and Donna and ends up cutting herself on the Batarang made to infect her cousin. As Supergirl turns into the Jokerized version of herself, the Secret Six finally assemble, and their combined energy opens the portal to the dark multiverse. Batman and Superman fight back the Secret Six and plan to take down the Anti-Monitor's multiversal tower and the satellite. Meanwhile, the Kryptonian creatures in the fortress turn out to be of help against the Secret Six. Gordon orders Supergirl and Shazam to activate the infection. Superman chases after them and out of the portal as he finds himself on Earth -22. He sees the dead bodies of the League members, of himself, his son John, and his wife Lois Lane. Supergirl keeps mocking him for not having enough metal, but we all know about Superman's berserker rage that comes when his loved ones are harmed. The next time Superman looks at Shazam and Kara, his eyes are gleaming red. He decimates his opponents in the battle, finally letting loose, while Batman fights the Blue Beetle. Batman knows that Jaime is infected, but the Scarab is not, and as such, he pulls out the Scarab and takes control of the tower, which is now connected to the Batman finally. Batman uses the Scarab to destroy the tower, while Superman throws the satellite into the sun. But this victory is not victory at all, as it is just a ruse created by the Batman Who Laughs to escape from the Hall of Justice, a place full of heroes who never knew of the villain being imprisoned in their lair. Commissioner Gordon is kept confined by Batman and Superman, while the heroes try to make amends, expecting Wonder Woman to be furious at them. They find her amidst battle and help her out. She tells them that no one trusts them anymore, and finds the truth about the situation by using her lasso on Superman. She wants to find a cure and says that she will help them out, but she is afraid their mutual trust is broken due to their lies and deception. Later, Lex Luthor manages to cut off the source of the dark metal that had infected the Secret Six, drugs, finally curing them of the infection. Marvelous verdict. There is a reason why Batman always restrains himself and follows a strong moral compass. He is smart enough to know what he is truly capable of, and as such, shackles himself. But the Batman who laughs is uninhibited with the values of the Joker, and he is a depiction of everything Batman is scared of turning into. With that, today's video comes to an end. What did you think of the Secret Six? Did you enjoy this video? If yes, then don't forget to like and comment on this video. Till then, goodbye, and have a nice one.